What is going on, guys? I'm sorry for the wind. My name is Will, but you can call me Tate. And today's November 9th. It's Sunday. Kings Island's calling this a bonus weekend that they've added to the schedule. We've got snow forecasted tomorrow for Ohio, which is crazy. What a long operating season for Kings Island. But I found fitting that I needed to come here for the last normal operating weekend at Kings Island, considering I was here all the way back in April for opening day, and what's happened from then until now has just been an amazing summer. Of course, I got a new computer, which has allowed me to make more content and more quality content for you guys, but just the parks I've been through have been insane this season. Of course, got to go to Cedar Point, do Siren's Curse, Top Thrill 2, get some content from there. After that, also got to go back to Holiday World this year. But then I went to some new parks like Michigan's Adventure, which surprised me in some ways, and then La Ronde, which surprised me in some better ways. So if you want to see some non-biased videos, go ahead and check those out. Also got to go to California's Great America twice this year, one of my favorite parks. Got some videos from that. And then got to go to some parks like Waldameer, and just so many experiences this summer. One of my personal favorite vlogs was when I got to come to Kings Island when it was closed to the public. And yeah, so if you want to see a lot of rides, check out that vlog. But yeah, back here, last weekend of normal operations, let's get in the park. So this is really interesting. They've already got the Winterfest sign out, and as you can see, our fountain is drained and they're preparing the ice skating rink for Winterfest. Really cool to see that fountain drained. So the time is 10:42. I did miss the actual opening for early entry, but it doesn't look like there's a lot of people here right now. Let's head towards Banshee. I don't really know what's open for early entry currently. So of course we can see fall has begun taking over the park. Doesn't look like they have started hanging any of the lights, at least not in this section of the park for Winterfest. Banshee looks like it's sending some test trains, so let's go over. Maybe it's open and there's nobody on it, or maybe it's just getting ready to open. So it does look like Banshee is closed or waiting to open. There's some people waiting outside. I just heard a horn on Drop Tower, although I call it Drop Zone. That's what it used to be called in the older days. But yeah, I guess before they send it for the first time in the day, there's that horn. That's really cool. I've never heard that before. Also, you can see we've got the ramp for Winterfest here. So while we wait for Banshee to open, I'm gonna walk around Action Zone and talk about some of the things that I guess have been going on this year in this area. Now, one of the weirdest park things that happened when I was here this year actually happened on my most recent visit here. I went into Chicken Shack, and for those of you who have come here, this place is amazing. It's really good. But the last time I came, you're only supposed to get 3 tenders if you get the tender combo. They absolutely loaded me up, as you can see from the picture. It was very clear that the workers just either did not care or had not been trained. So hopefully that's not like sort of Six Flags, tendencies creeping in on Kings Island. Of course, it was good for me in the moment to get all that extra food, but in the grand scheme of things, having employees that don't care or aren't trained properly just give away food that's not supposed to happen, I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Now, with some of the evidence that's come forward within Vertigo, it does appear that this ride is not done, which I thoroughly enjoy. One of the most intense moment in the park is if you're sitting not on this side of the station, but on the far side of the station, meaning you're at the lowest side on that second lift hill. You absolutely fly through that vertical loop, and that is the highest moment of positive G's you can really get at the park. Although it does look like some of its old curlers are showing. But yeah, you can see the piece of track that's cut out over there. I'll zoom in on that in a second. But hopefully this thing gives us at least one more year, because I really enjoy this ride. Almost looks like they're installing a new chain on it. So hey, that definitely doesn't mean it's closing. That's a good thing to see. I really like coming down this Vertigo path and looking at Banshee because it shows you that the elements are not all cookie cutter copy and paste like this dive loop here. Normally it would just sort of follow that motion, but they've got it curved in a completely different way. Yeah, let's head over. Let's see if this thing's getting ready to open. Well, unfortunately, it does look like they sent Drop Zone to close it because the catch car is remaining at the top, which means the ride's not opening, of course, if that's not coming back down. So really interesting. I guess maybe it won't open today. Looks like it's got staff. Oh, look, we've got a block check at Orion. Always cool to see things like that. This little stage here looks like it's just about ready for the ice carving shows that happen right here. Of course, in Action Zone during Winterfest, right next to that slide there. Well, it's good to see that the Bat has a small group of people waiting outside of it. Good to see that ride get ridership, as that's one of our oldies, and who knows how many more years we'll have that around. Got some rides on that earlier this year as well, and I heard it's only on one train. So we'll check that out if we have time to walk down there. Look, now we've got a block stop and check on both Orion and Banshee. Look at this. Got that train there. Wow. Well, I guess Orion just released its train while I was waiting for that. Well, that's really cool. So we just manually started the lift. I've never seen that before. It's actually really cool to see. Look at the dreary skies. Just so ominous, helping the Banshee theme. It's actually quite cold today. I thought just wearing long sleeves would be enough, but this is like a dry fit long sleeve shirt, so wind's still getting through. Right at 10:59, so a minute early. We are in the queue. Well, this crew is absolutely killing it right now. That is the first time in a long time that I have gotten first train of the day on any ride here at the park. Let's go in for another ride. As you see, not a lot of people here today. It is very cold. So the ride is only on 2 trains today, which is still not bad at all for how good these operators are doing. I'm gonna film when this train comes into the brake run. I'm trying to figure out which train is missing, but what's interesting is it looks like this teal train has one of the purple, I guess, wheel covers in the front, which is absolutely hilarious. Didn't come out super well in that shot, but look, they're dispatching and that train just hit the brake run. It's the best I've seen this team do in a while, and this used to be the best team by far at the park. There, now you can see it. Purple wheel covers on the teal train. Now, obviously I was on the first couple trains of the day, so the ride is not warmed up and it's cold outside, so it's not gonna be running fast anyways. But that led to some hang time on some of the inversions, but the valleys are still insanely intense. Now, of course, it's an argument about, you know, how they built this B&M, how it's a lot more flowy than some of the other inverts. But I think there's something to be said about how it sort of lulls you to sleep with the flowy elements and then gives you insane positive G's through some of the bottoms of those elements. Absolutely love that ride, and that crew is killing it right now. The lift actually was running in slow mode. That's how fast they were dispatching. Now, of course, I would like to say that I hope we don't close a ride like the Bat with no warning, but unfortunately, that's just not the state that we are in with Six Flags. But nonetheless, I figured I might as well take my chance to get a ride on it while there's nobody here. And yeah, let's get a ride on the Bat. Now, unfortunately, those rides on Banshee prove that I am not wearing enough layers to do some of the rides that go fast here today. So I'm cold. The wind is like having to blow on my hands to stay warm. Well, look at this. We've got one of the trains for the Bat down there. So we've seen Banshee is missing one train, and now the Bat is. Not something you get to see every day, a train right down there for the Bat. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on, you know, how many trains the rest of these coasters are running today. So cool to see. Looks like we've got some train wait. Hey, a fellow Green Bay Packers fan. Love to see that. And that was the bat. Definitely showing a little bit of its age, getting a little rough around the edges. So I am 5'11", 6 foot when it's raining outside like today. But if you are like me, you want to make sure you sit in the front seat of each car. I sat in the back and my legs were just pressed against the seat in front of me. I keep saying every time I get off of that, I need to check what the top speed of that ride is, because I would not be surprised if after Diamondback, Orion, and Banshee, that's our fastest coaster. It just feels like you keep the speed so well. I mean, just look at how empty this plaza is. What a good last day of the season. So leaving Action Zone, we're still gonna walk the rest of the park, see how many rides are on reduced capacity, and yeah, just take one last look at the park before Winterfest, before most of these rides close. Well, it looks like the racer is open. Let's hop in and see if both sides are running. This will be the only wooden coaster we'll get on today, which we'll talk about a little more in a little bit, but it does look like Adventure Express. You can see the train is parked over there. Not sure if that ride is open today or not, but let's get a ride on the racer. It does look like, at least as of right now, it is only a one-side special, but hey, I'm getting more rides than I originally thought today. Looks like one side is open and only one train is running, so 1 out of 4 trains on the racer today. So that was Red Racer, got a row 2 ride, running great. It's really weird to see that on 1 out of its 4 trains, because it was open during Winterfest last year, and I assume it's the same this year. So it's weird to see that it looks like that ride's almost getting ready for hibernation. It's also cool to see some of the, I guess, some of the cars that are being refreshed. You can also see all the Winterfest parade, you know, sort of floats from Racer. Oh, and I still like the airtime on that ride more than on Mystic Timbers, and I like Racer as a whole more than Mystic Timbers. Does look a little dormant over here by Adventure Express. Definitely not open yet, and can't tell. That train looks like it's on the track, ready to go. I don't see one in the station yet though, so maybe it won't open today. I don't think this was on the list of the closed rides. Well, as we go down Coney Mall, we have our monster ride here that it was announced they were waiting on a part for a long time ago. I think they said it would be here in late July, and that part, I guess, never came, or the ride got scrapped, because from the lift hill, you can see this thing is in complete pieces. Well, it was a day exactly like today, the last day of the normal season back in 2021. That was the last time I got on Orion until this season, on the day that the park was closed to the public. Sorry to keep referencing that vlog, but just had such an amazing day. The park was empty, got multiple rides on this, and it was just special getting back on one of my favorite rides for the first time in 4 years. I mean, it was just amazing. I will link that vlog in the description. It does look like Orion is on 2 trains. Can't see the third one, so I guess it is already hauled away. And yeah, interesting that it's dark enough today for the blue light strip to be on. Now, unfortunately, like I said, I am not wearing the proper clothes to go 90 miles in the cold. And what's crazy is I rode Fury during Winterfest in the front row, where it felt like it was absolutely criminal for that ride to be operating. Like, you literally had to cover your face. Otherwise, it felt like you were gonna get massive frostbite. But how cool would it be if this opened for Winterfest? Now, I know Fury has to be 40 degrees, and we're not gonna get that many days in the winter for Ohio, so I understand why. But yeah, so happy I got back on this ride. I'm considering getting Fast Lane next year, or the all-season Fast Lane, so I can even come on weekends and still get some rides in. But yeah, really excited for next season to do a lot of laps on this. Also, people say Pantherion doesn't have any closed bathrooms at King's Dominion. These are the bathrooms right next to Orion. They're only single bathrooms. And if you want the other closest bathrooms, you either have to go to Windseeker or all the way back out towards the Tower Garden section, which is a decent walk if you want to marathon Orion. I'm not sure if it's coming out on camera, but we have definitely got some light sleet, some light, really cold rain drizzling across the park. So let's keep walking. So of course you saw that Christmas tree while we were coming in. And here's the second big one that is always at the end of the County Mall section. Now, as we keep walking this way, we can see the lights are on for this fly right here in front of me, but we can see the wooden coaster in the back, and you get a great view from it on the turnaround on Red Racer, but the track is missing on parts of the drop into the helix. I'm not sure if I can get anywhere to get a decent shot of it, but it looks like they are doing some further retracking on the ride. So I'm gonna zoom in right here and you'll be able to see exactly where that track stops. So it looks like they're retracking that. Again, the helix is always the part that you can feel as the train goes through. It just continues to beat it up. But my favorite part of the ride is the part that is untouched, and that's in the first half after the concrete tunnel, when you're actually like the furthest outside the park. You get some great laterals on that, and I hope if they ever do redo that section that they don't reprofile it like they have for the rest of the ride, because they take out some of the laterals when they do that. But hey, if it keeps the ride around a lot longer, then I have no problem with it. But yeah, it's raining cold. Let's keep walking. We can see over there nothing happening over with the Beast. I don't see the trains anywhere on the track, so they've all been taken off. And yeah, this ride is hibernating. And of course, we've still got this big, beautiful plot of land that I really hope we fill with something cool. And I really hope we fill this before we take out more rides in the front section of the park and build something there, because it's such a big plot of land with some interesting terrain as well. Now, it's interesting to see that, of course, the Winterfest decorations aren't up yet, but they did remove all of the haunt decorations, or at least most of them, so they are still moving fast. And I don't know if it's a temperature reason that is the reason Stunt Coaster is closed, but you can see trains on the track, but the ride is not open. And it looks like on Diamondback, we've got the gold or yellow train, as well as the green train running, but I'm gonna zoom in to the red train that is still in the storage. So again, two trains on this one, not a big deal. Diamondback normally stacks anyways. There were a lot more empty seats on the train before. You can see the line over there, not too long, but let's keep walking. And is normal when the Beast is closed, definitely with track missing, not gonna open today. But I'm sure the park will announce anytime soon what part of the track they are redoing. And again, to reference that vlog again, where the park was closed, got some amazing rides on this, including a pitch black night ride with no line. So be sure to check out that vlog. Just had such an amazing time at the park that day. Let's keep walking. It is cold, I'm not sweating. That's from ice cold sleet in my face. So let's keep walking around. Oh, let me keep walking. I hope the wind does not blow that in my face. We've got Mystic Timbers with no wait. You guys know how I feel about this ride. It's absolutely an amazing family attraction, but ranks like number 7 for me in the park. Does look like it's on 2 trains. I believe it always runs 2 trains for Winterfest, so not abnormal to see it already in that state. If you do get out here during Winterfest, GCIs run the best in the cold. At least that's what I've been told, and that's what I've noticed when riding Mystic Timbers during Winterfest. It seems to run really good. Of course, we already saw that Diamondback's not even a stair wait. Got some empty seats on that train. Not gonna walk through this section, although next year I am hoping to get on our new Vekoma Boomerang. That would give me credit completion at this park, of course, because I've been coming here since I was really, really young. Well, next time I walk through this area, there'll be a bunch of Christmas lights. This is always one of the best areas during Winterfest. But I am walking over here just to take one last look at Boo Blasters and see what it looks like has changed on the facade for that ride. So as of right now, it doesn't look like anything has changed. Still got the Boo Blasters sign. And yeah, I can't really tell any difference on the exterior. Now, one of the attractions that was listed as closed was the Eiffel Tower, and of course, that's because they are attaching all of the lights and getting that ready for Winterfest. But outside of Invertigo and the Beast, I think those were the only 3 that were supposed to be closed. So the other rides that we've seen today, I don't think were planned to be closed, but I'm not entirely sure. Now to our right, we've got the VIP sort of section if you have the Prestige Pass. What I would love though is to see sort of an indoor version of one of these, so that when it's raining, you know, you don't have to sit in seats that are really wet. But this is really nice to take advantage of during Winterfest. Now, I believe I got Coney Barbecue on opening day, so it's only right that on closing day or last day of normal operations, we get it again. Also because they changed some of their side dishes for Winterfest, and I'm not a huge fan of what they changed them to, but I guess Chicken Shack has just been more consistent recently, and I've been enjoying the food from there a lot more. But hey, I still think this park has the best food in any Cedar Fair park that I've been to, although I would love to get back to King's Dominion and compare. But yeah, that pulled pork that's shown right there, phenomenal. Here's what we got. I'm not sure why they ever changed the policy, but I will complain about it until they fix it. But for some reason, they are not allowed to put the meat on the bun for you. So you got to use your hands to get them all greasy doing that. Now, luckily, I didn't have that problem with my fingers getting greasy, as Coney Barbecue proved the point I made about them being inconsistent, as that was the driest pulled pork I've ever seen. Now, I travel for work. I've had barbecue all across the country. And anybody who knows barbecue, if you saw that last clip, I mean, that pulled pork was really dry. So hey, looks like Chicken Shack is back to being definitively my favorite place to eat here at the park. Now let's survive the frigid rain on the way out. Now Cedar Point has had a little bit of a rocky season with a lot of ride closures, but I feel like Kings Island did not have the same fate. It still had its amazing operations with phenomenal ride availability. Well, as I take one final look at the park with the full, or I guess not full, but most ride opening, thank you for another great year and for marking the start and end of one of the most amazing coaster seasons I've ever had. Well, you didn't ask, but I wanted to end this vlog in my car, which for the past 7 years, any vlog that you've seen that was like a drivable park for me, like Cedar Point, Holiday World, or Kings Island, this car took me through, especially from all of those years when I went to school just 30 minutes down the road at Cincinnati and logged in about 100 Kings Island trips. This car was taking me to and from this park so many times. And yeah, this is the last vlog that this car is going to take me to that park. It's finally time to get an upgrade, but yeah, nobody asked, but I just wanted to end this vlog in my car one last time. And yeah, what a great season at Kings Island. Looking forward to next season. I will try to make it out here so I can give sort of a Winterfest showcase for you guys. But with that, my name is Will. You guys can call me Tate. As I've said, it's been an amazing summer. I made a playlist with all the videos I've made. I really hope you guys enjoyed following me throughout this summer. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Can you catch me now?